Hi everybody, it's Davorka and thank you for looking through this video. So sorry for the greasy hair and the way that I look. I just saw one video that I disagree with one part of it, and I had to share it right now while I'm still in the momentum of it, before I forget. So usually, I'm just gonna give you a backstory. So usually, what happens every day in morning, if I can, if not, then during the day, I'm doing the research online or listening to books or reading books, everything about self development and self discovery, and basically anything about how I can better myself so I can also help others with that. So it's continuous journey of never stop learning, and I actually love it. I love every part of it. So today one of the videos that came to my attention was one of from Mel Robbins. So for those of you who don't know who she is, I believe she was a lawyer, so that's like something that is connected to me. So she was a lawyer, and then later on, she became a life coach and motivational speaker. And basically, she's really, really successful in her field, and she's getting more and more success as we speak. So I truly admire this lady. I like listening to her videos because she's straight to the point kind of girl, and she's trying to back up all that she's saying with the scientific proof. It's really interesting to listen to her. And there is lots of value in her video because she's in a way similar to me. She likes to learn and study, and she's learning more and more as she goes. So, it's the best thing that you can do is learn from somebody who has been there before you came there. So you're learning from their experience. So the video that I'm talking about is 4 steps to, so I believe it's something like 4 steps to manifest, um, backed up by science by Mel Robbins. So in this video, she's giving you the 4 steps, right? As I said, and she's explaining to you why probably you're not manifesting and what you're probably doing wrong. So I'm just going to give you small walkthrough and also explain what is the part that I'm not 100% agreeing with and why. I believe it's half said, so it's not the finished step. So she oversimplified it. So okay, so step number one is dream with the lid off. And basically what she's saying here, and I agree 100%, we all do that. Most of us, we don't allow ourselves to dream what we really and truly want to dream of because of the anxiety or fear or what this person is going to think, or I'm not good enough, you don't believe in yourself enough. And the best example that I know from my own personal life, there are many examples, but the first one that pops to mind is actually my mom. So my mom comes from the family of a single parent and 5 kids. So when she was 4 years old, her dad died, actually. So my grandma was left, a single parent with 5 kids, and it was hell. It was not easy for them. So she comes from the home and from the state of lack of money, lack of connections, lack of, so really, it was difficult for all of them to get into the mindset of everything is possible when it didn't look that possible for them. It was quite difficult for them, especially because my grandma is quite religious, and then it's like, if you have less, and money is the source of all evil. So basically, when you are really nice and do not want big things, you're blessed and you're going to go to heaven. So my mom came a long way from where she grew up, and she changed her beliefs a lot. But while growing up, she always wanted to be kindergarten teacher, and she would be great at that. She's natural. She's just natural with, with kids. Kids love her, but she never gave herself permission to even go and try to pursue that career because she always believed thought that she doesn't have enough money, she's not smart enough, she doesn't have good enough schooling background, and she doesn't know good enough people, and basically all that kinds of things. So she never tried it, and the years went by, and here she is doing doing that role with my kids right now. So it's not the same. It's better, probably in some ways, but yes. So she actually, you know, um, stopped herself of living her dream in a way, and I believe she would have much better life if she tried. But that's what most of us are doing, right? So she's completely right here. We have to dream with the lid off, and she's giving you advice of doing that with adopting simple small habits. For example, every morning just write down on the piece of paper 5 things that you want and 5 things that you dream about. Those things don't have to be big. It can be something small, like, I want somebody to bring me a cup of coffee, and you can change them every day. So it's up to you. You have to play with it, and basically what you're doing here, you're just exercising your brain to be open for the possibilities, right? Which is great. So step number 1, yes, up to the point, great. Then we come to the step number 2. So step number 2 is regarding visualization. And she's saying the biggest mistake that everybody does is visualize the main goal. And I was like, so that doesn't make sense. And she's like, don't visualize the main goal, visualize the steps to getting to the main goal. So visualize yourself doing the steps. And I'm like, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time. And I'm going to explain why. So she's giving 2 examples. One example is you running a marathon and visualizing you crossing that end line. And the other example is you taking an exam and then passing the exam. So in those 2 explanation and those 2 examples, yes, it makes sense. Visualize your inspired action, your action. You know what your next step is. In regards to marathon, you have to practice. You have to get your body to the active state, and you have to you have to be a little bit more athletic than you are if you are only sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. It makes sense. It completely makes sense. And she's saying, okay, visualize yourself doing the exercise and then do the exercise, because when you're visualizing yourself doing the exercise, you're actually preparing your body to do it more successfully. But here I would add one more thing. Once you do the exercise, visualize yourself getting to the goal, because that's the next thing that you need to do. So this is something that she forgot here. Also, when it comes to the exam, of course, there's no magical, unfortunately, I know that, there is no magical pill that you can just drink and then all the knowledge that you need for that exam is going to be in your head. Unfortunately, there's not yet. Maybe one day. But until that happens, you still have to sit down and study. So if you visualize yourself studying, and then what you're going to be so your studying is going to be easier. So just one note, I'm so sorry about the noise that you probably hear. Those are my kids playing. But let's move on. So if you're visualizing yourself studying, yes, it's going to be easier for you to actually sit down and study and be more concentrated to that. But also I would suggest, while doing that inspired action, which is studying, visualize yourself passing that exam. And yes, that is going to help you so much and tremendously. This is okay. But the way that she's saying is like, don't visualize your end goal, just visualize yourself doing the actions and then do the action. And I'm like, okay, But what about the goals where you don't know what action is and what your next step is? What with the goals that are so huge or so unbelievable, or like you just don't know. For example, for somebody who is like I am right now, opening a business, and you never had a business, you have no idea what your next step is. You have no idea. You can what you have to do is like you just need to sit down and figure it out and let it go, and it's going to be shown to you. So also there is another video where she's saying like what when you have a goal and you don't know what your next step is, and she's given a really good example and really good method how you can get to that next step is, for example, putting yourself outside of that picture. So let's say your goal is to get to the $1 million, and it's so ridiculous and so overwhelming to you that you don't know what to do next. Then just put yourself out of the equation and put Mel Robbins into the equation. How did Mel Robbins get there? What was her first step? So it's going to be easier for you to get to that first step when you don't have that personal approach there, and you put yourself in that story. Yes, that makes sense, and yes, that helps. But sometimes it doesn't. It just doesn't. So when you're so unsure what to do, my advice, because I know it from my own personal experience, and also when you go through her videos, there are example of how she manifested her perfect house. She didn't know how to manifest that perfect house. She just knew that she wanted the type of the house, and she wanted the type of the house in the neighborhood that she wanted, and she didn't have money for any of those. She didn't know what her first step is, but she believed that she's going to have it. She manifested being in the house that she wanted. And basically, and she just left it to the universe to show her the way. And the universe showed her the way. Similar example is when she got the painting that she wanted when she was younger. She got the painting for the exact amount of money that she had in her pocket at that time. She didn't know the next step. She just let it go, right? So, and the universe helped her. I'm not saying that you need to just stand back and not do anything. Of course you need to visualize yourself doing something. Of course you need to visualize, but don't disregard visualizing of the main goal, because that main goal, although it can be overwhelming sometimes, but that main goal, while you're doing the inspired action, so that's the main point. I think that that's the point that she wanted to give there here. You have to do the inspired action, but while doing the inspired action, visualize the main goal, because that main goal is going to be your motivation to finish this and to get to the next step. So this is the missing link here, I believe, and missing piece. And also one extremely, extremely big advice that I have to give you when it comes to visualization and manifestation, you have to relinquish all control. So if you want the energy that is around you, the universe, to help you get what you want, you need to learn how to let go. And in my own personal experience, that's the most difficult thing you have to do. That's because we all like to know that we are a little bit in control. So sit back and relax. It's not that easy as it sounds when somebody says. It's the most difficult action, actually, in my case, because I like to know, where I'm going and everything. And sometimes that's not the right way. You cannot direct your path. So you have to be in tune with your path, and the path is going to be shown to you. And then when the path is shown to you, you take the next step, and then the next step. But the whole way, you need to be you cannot, one thing that you always have to have: belief and focus on what you want. So disregarding the visualization of the main goal, I would not recommend it. But however, if you are overwhelmed by it, yes, go and soften it with other things. But you can say, okay, I want $100 million. I know it's not there tomorrow, but I'm getting there. So my main goal is to get there. And don't forget, whenever you get to your main goal, then what? You're getting a new goal. So basically, you need to have fun while getting there. Also, one really important thing that she's not mentioning here. So you have to have fun. Just let the universe. There is also I believe there is a book called Let Go and Let God. Basically, you just need to let go. And if only that's easy. It's not. And I believe it's not. And that's one of the biggest action you have to do. Let go. It's a little bit silly to say, but yes, that's one of the biggest action that you need to do. Let go. And have fun while letting go. So everything that comes your way, try to find a positive side of it and believe it's all for your best and it's all for your prosperity, and that's really important. So that was my issue with point number 2 or step number 2. And yes, so to continue, step number 3 is feel it in your body. Of course, when you visualize something, you have to feel it in your body. If it's like she says, doing the study, you have to, when you're visualizing yourself, you have to visualize yourself sitting on that chair, looking at that book, and then how easily everything that you read is going into your head and everything is there. If you're visualizing running for the marathon, you have to visualize yourself practicing, as she says. So yes, you have to visualize yourself running. And where are you going? What kind of streets are you going to pass? Where are you practicing? So even if it's something else, like house, like she says. So what kind of feeling do you have in that house? How are you going to decorate that house? What are the smells that you're going to smell in that house? Is the house going to be warm or cold? How many, so the most detail that you can get, and that you can actually convince yourself you're already there, just do it. So your part is to not to be a spectator, like watching the movie of somebody else, and that's, you have to be not a spectator but active component of that visualization. So it's not like you seeing the play in front of you. You have to be part of that play. So that's the feel it in your body, like you are already there. And the step number 4 is do the work. So that's the inspired action, do the work. And I believe I covered everything here. If I didn't something, I'm going to cover it in my later videos. But yes, that's my intake on Mel Robbins's video, which I'm going to post in the description. I do hope you get my point. If you don't agree, that's okay completely. This is all just my point of view and my understanding of how all of this works. If you like it, great, put a like, and please do subscribe if you like my videos. Also, you can join my Facebook group. The name is the same as my YouTube channel, so Being Great Being, and I do post there, I believe, a little bit more often than here in Facebook, in YouTube. So please do join that Facebook group. And if you have any questions, please do, comment there below. And that's it for me for today. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.